Okay. Let's see. I actually need to check if this music is copyrighted or not, because if it is, it's not good. Alright, so we should be good with that. How's the audio, guys? My day gift. How's the audio sounding? Everything cool? Yes, Mark. How you doing, bro? You good? Looks like gold's gonna behave itself today. I wanted to see a little pullback here, go long. I'm already in this trade from here. So, like I said to you guys at the start of the week, well, even yesterday when we had some losses yesterday, the main thing that we did say is like, look, we've just got to adapt. You know, this is what current market conditions are, so we've got to adapt. So I just decided to stick with 100 pip SR, and you know, for this setup, 100 pips was enough to cover most of that half-hour candle. So that's what we've played. So, you know, I don't want to dwell on yesterday because, you know, eventually we did come for this candle's high. We've even taken our Tokyo sessions high as well. So we just have to hold our hands up and say, or even me myself, I have to hold my hands up and just say, look, we were just wrong that day. You know, it's annoying because you can still be right and wrong in the market. You know, there's nothing quite like it. But nonetheless, we've turned around, we rallied. You know, Tokyo session once again giving us the boost as usual. London session, we didn't really get much in terms of a pullback when I was looking at it this morning. But what I did notice is this 5-minute candle here, right? That 5-minute candle had an aggressive run for the lows, right? And then from there, we shot up, okay? So we're showing intent to head higher. So I was like, okay, cool. This is interesting. So I was looking for the continuation model, as now it met the requirements. So then I just took the trade, guys. Like, that was pretty much it. So right now I'm in a few entries. I'm in down here, I'm in over here. I've also added another position, like, well, I was supposed to enter down here, but the entry is more like 30, 57 around here ish. My stop's at this low. If it taps that out, I'm going to take another entry down here. I prefer this area for a pullback entry than the higher levels. So let's just see if this wants to pull back. If it doesn't pull back, then it's fine. To be honest, I'll be happy to just take back some of the losses from yesterday, you know? I'll be happy to take some of the losses back from yesterday. But the saving grace is GDX is up pre-market, okay? So the good chance that gold will probably get a little bit more of a boost to the upside. Money Day, Joe, how you doing, bro? There's a good chance that we're gonna get a push to the upside come stock open, which is in 2 minutes. So it's kind of make or break right now. Well, it's not make or break, but it's decision time. As you guys know, we do have FOMC later this evening. So ideally, I kind of just want to find a move now and just forget about the rest of the day. You know, currently sitting 1%, right? So 100 pips in prof. But it's still tricky, you know? One thing that I find it a little bit difficult to understand right now is why broker feeds have got different candles, right? The only thing that would explain that is the closing hours. So look, this is the 4-hour candle on forex.com, and this is the 4-hour candle on Owanda. So Owanda is basically saying there's a new 4-hour candle that started with this hour, right? However, for forex.com, that current 4-hour candle is still being printed, which I can't lie, guys, is really annoying. You know, because it definitely does affect the technical side of the analysis, right? If you've got too many discrepancies. All right, looks like we're holding up for now. Pre-market just opened up. We are pushing higher. Just got to be a little bit careful with this bad boy. So far, gold doesn't look like it's going to pull back. So I'm going to go break even. GDX is still pushing. Looks like we may take out that high, you know, guys. Strong push from GDX there. We're almost at TP3. Take a little sip. Oof, that's hot. Okay, so GDX is pulling back a little bit. Gold is still holding high. If you guys knew how aggressive I'm trading my personal account right now, you'd be thinking, what the fuck? Okay, we're almost there. Okay, so we didn't get that pullback there on the 15-minute, which is fine. Okay, so now I've got a difficult decision to make, and that decision is to take profits at 2%, right? So 1 to 2, which is at this candle's high here, or to hold for the full pull. And realistically, when I look at gold, right, let's look at a different pair. Let's use this one. When I look at gold and what we've done on the weekly, that candle is looking really good to take out all-time highs. The daily candle, I'm not too sure where the daily candle will close, but I don't think today is going to be a day where we even rival Friday 4th of April's high. I don't think we'll even come close here today, but I do think we'll close in and around this candle's vicinity, and then the next day we should get a low of the day potentially test this candle or Tuesday's daily candles high and then push up. That's what I'm looking at for now. But I do want to hold for the most recent hourly candle, right? The one that we're printing now to engulf. Because I think, like, what else is it gonna do? Do you know what I mean? Okay, so with EU, I did give you guys that little short setup for EU. As I did say, it was very high risk because, to be honest, I looked at the dollar, I'm like, this dollar is just gonna slam down, right? Getting a real nice pull. I'm gonna go break even. I might just take this, you know. Let me take some partials on this. Mark execution. Let's take off. Nice. We're getting a real nice pull now. Really nice pull. Sorry, guys. Yeah, GDX is still rising. Nice. It's a real nice pull. Gonna go break even on all positions. Really nice pull. You know what? Close enough. I'm gonna take these two off. 5-minute candle closes in a sec. Let's give it a sec. Let me take a look at the minute candle. Nah, I'm gonna take this now. Alright, cool. So now I've got the original positions down here. That's open. We'll wait for some of these highs to get taken. GDX is still pushing up. This is very much needed, boy. very much needed. You know, sometimes you're gonna go through periods, or not even periods, moments. You know, you guys saw me have a moment yesterday where I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I was just mad because, like, I know where you're gonna go. My gold, I know where you're gonna go, but you're just fucking around, really. But it's all good. We're gonna get there in the end. Alright, so on my personal, I've just recovered yesterday's loss. I'm trying to hold for a little bit longer so that we can get a little bit more prof. GDX is up. I'm gonna look at the stock market today with all of you guys. So I'm gonna give stock market 15 minutes to print. That's how I like to look at the stock market. I don't really get involved in the stock market until like 15 minutes after. Sometimes I might give it an hour after. Sorry, half hour after. This is a really nice, strong, bullish looking candle, man. This can really keep on going, you know. My psychology is really playing with me right now because I do think if this does keep pushing, we've got a good chance of heading up into this hourly imbalance, because GDX is still going strong, right? GDX is still going strong, so there's a good chance we're going to head up into this hourly imbalance. What's happening, Ritesh? How you doing, bro? You good? Welcome to the stream. You know, that's what I see. We still got 24 minutes of this hour left to go. So we got a couple more 15-minute candles. And to be honest, I don't think the 15-minute candles will pull back that heavy, but it's still going to give you a pullback. Whereas, like, can you stomach it? Can you stay in the move for long enough? You know what I mean? Joe says took some partials and left the runner. Nice. To be honest, I don't even want to sit in this. I kind of just want to take this, but this hourly candle is so strong. GDX looks okay. Everything looks okay so far. Because, boy, if you knew the losses I took yesterday, you would ask me, how did you even sleep? Joe says there's a equal high. on the H2. The H2, I'm guessing you're looking at Friday's daily high. Yeah, I think we can definitely reach lower. We've just reached TP4 now. Finally. Alright, 3%. This target here will give us 4%, but I don't really fancy holding it for that long. GDX is coming down right now though. What's my lot size? What you guys reckon? Shall I take this here or go for a full pull? Let me know in the chat box. What do you guys think? Hold for a full pull or take profit here? Talk to me. Hold or take profit? Okay, Mark says take profit. It's crazy how markets moves a little bit and the pullback is so aggressive. Okay, I've taken prof, guys. Taking partials. So I'm gonna move my profit target a little bit higher as well. See if we can get that. Was that 510? Okay. Moving. I've taken partials on all accounts. For those of you that are copying me on Star Trader account as well, appreciate all of you guys who do have a Star Trader account and are trading with me. These trades were also placed on the Star Trader account. If you guys don't have a Star Trader account, there's the details inside of the Get Started page on the Discord. Okay, so if you go to Discord and you go to Get Started, all you have to do is just follow the instructions there of how to copy my account on Star Trader. So what that means is any setups or any trades that I take on my account will be automatically copied onto your account. That way it's completely hands-free and I don't charge for that service because the broker will pay me performance fees. Okay, so what that means is whatever profit that I make on you guys' account, I will take a percentage directly from your profit. Last month we did finish with a 14% gain. This month I actually haven't checked my stats for this month. This month we haven't really done much, just because of everything that was happening last week. Last week I barely placed a trade, but let me check for you guys, see what I've done this month so far. Give me a second, guys. Give me a second. I need to find my account. JDTEA. Okay, so with that account, right, it's a mixture of my myself trading manually and also my bot trading as well. Okay, so it's a really nice mixture of the two. Let me take a look this month. Where do I go? Trading? Do I see trading? No. Instruments? No. Equity? No, not equity. Return? Yeah, it should be in return. Okay, so far this month, we've barely done much this month. We've done 1%, sorry. We've done 1% this month so far. So we're gonna, well, I'm gonna grow these accounts very slowly. That way, I want to give a lot of you guys an opportunity to, you know, whether it's $1,000, $3,000, you can put it in your Star Trader account and just leave it. You know, I'll manage it myself and just grow it slowly over time. Withdrawals are fortnightly, so I will tell all of you guys to make a withdrawal fortnightly. Okay. If you want more of an aggressive way of trading, I currently don't have that because I only aggressively trade my live account, like my personal account, because I don't know if you guys can handle if you guys can handle the losses I can or the drawdown that I can. Sometimes you just have to risk it for a biscuit, fellas. So for now we are chilling around here. If you guys really are interested in the Star Trader option, again, all you have to do is just go to the Discord. If you're not part of the Discord, there's a link to the Discord in the description box down below, and make your own account. If you guys use my link when you create your own account, you will get a 70% deposit bonus. So what that means is, for example, if you deposit, let's say $3,000, you'll get around 1,500 on top. In between 1,500 to 2K, I think it is on top. Okay, so those are the two options for you. I fancy taking a little long here on EU. It's a little bit techie, I would have to say, because I feel like EU is probably just gonna range till tonight, but this has got okay potential. I'm just gonna open a really small position on this. Why not? Just really small, man. Maybe like maybe a 0.10 or some shit. Where's EU? Let's take a little buy on this, man. It's a little something. See what happens. Whoops. Yeah, let's see what can happen with this EU move here. So yeah, guys, if you've enjoyed the setup today, enjoy the trade today, don't forget to leave a like on the live. I always tell you guys, week in, week out, or every single day. Okay, so right now, how the M1 candles are printing is just ranging. Okay, it's simply just ranging. I want to see a little bit more. If we want to extend lower, you know, even the seconds time frame is just a range, really. Do we want to extend lower, or are we just making a little low of, for example, the 5 minute, whereas a pullback, and then we're going to shoot up again? Okay, so that target is going to be where are we at now? 70. Again, guys, you know, I would really recommend you guys going for the Star Trader option. You know, even if you potentially only have $500 or a small account, just leave it with me. Let me compound it slowly for you whilst you potentially learn. It's much better than you blowing the account. And also, to be honest, if you really want to, you can trade the account whilst it's under management as well. The choice is yours. Again, you know, I'm never gonna rush you guys to do anything. I'm giving you guys options of what you can do. Okay, so he's probably not gonna work out, but let's see what gold wants to do. Like, I look at gold. Oof, gold on the half hour, we can get a drop a lot lower for gold. Right? I reckon for gold, I mean, this probably won't be good for business, but gold might pull back down to this half-hour candle. I reckon the hourly candle will close similar to where we are now, right? And with the new hourly candle, reckon the low of the hour might form somewhere around here, and then the high of the hour will explode higher. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to foresee for the time being. So we'll probably, I mean, how big is this half-hour candle? 120 pips. Okay, so DXY is still pushing up. It is forcing gold lower right now. So let's see, we've definitely got a few areas inside of here. All right. So let's see, man. Where's my phone? So right now we're waiting for the hourly candle to close. Let's take a look at the stock market really quickly. Let's take a look at the weekly. Give me a second, guys. Okay, let's take a look at this. GDX is back up now. Let's take a look at the stock market. So weekly, right? Obviously we opened up the week, we formed the high of the week, the low of the week so far, yeah. For now, there's a few areas inside of here for sure, you know, especially when we look at the monthly, right? I do still see hella more downside potential for stock market. Okay, so I do think this is probably where we may bottom out. Okay, especially when I'm looking at the S&P 500. So again, guys, the main reason why I look at the S&P 500 is because the S&P is similar to the DXY but for the stock market. Okay, obviously if you think about it, S&P is made of 500 companies, right? The top 500 companies in America. US 30 is the top 30 companies, which also comprises of the 500. The Nasdaq is the top 100 companies, okay, top 100 tech companies, sorry, inside of America. But then what you've also got to understand is those top 100 companies inside of America are also going to be inside of the S&P 500, okay? The ones with the biggest value will also be part of the S&P 500. So usually when the S&P is coming down, most of these other two will also be doing the exact same, okay? So even if I am looking at US 30 or Nasdaq, I tend to flick back over to the S&P, and realistically that's one of the main reasons as to why I just choose to trade the S&P religiously over Nasdaq or US 30. US 30 or Nasdaq will give you more pips, right? It just moves more. It moves way more than the S&P, and it's also the exact same reason as to why I choose EU over GU and the rest, because it's like, look, if I'm right on EU, okay, that means the dollar is going in a similar direction, and that also means that I can also be right when I'm looking at other dollar related pairs, right? So my whole understanding, yes, is if I can gauge what EU is doing, I will definitely gauge what DXY is doing, which would then help me gauge what gold is most likely to do with a higher degree of accuracy. And then if we turn our attention over to the stock market, if I can gauge what the S&P 500 is doing, then I also have a slightly higher degree of accuracy when gauging what Dow Jones and Nasdaq wants to do. Why? Because they comprise of 500 companies here, and they tend to move in a similar direction. Okay, so that's the whole premise and understanding behind it. Now, don't get me wrong, just like EU, GU, and AU, GU might be doing something completely different to EU. Like, these things do happen where there are divergences, right, between the pairs, right, where they're supposed to be positively correlated, they start being inversely correlated where they're doing the opposite to each other. These divergences do happen from time to time, okay, and this is completely normal. Now, let's take a look at the analysis. Yeah, so simply we're just bearish in it. Like, there's nothing else to look at. On the S&P, we do have this daily low high here as well, right? 8-hour time frame, you can see this is our most significant high. On the 4-hour as well. Okay, so for me, this high here should not be broken, at least today, right? Unless if we're gonna flip bullish, I don't believe this high will get broken. Okay, so now I'm just gonna slowly build a narrative. So for the time being, if I look at the S&P 500, what other points of interest do we have? Right, we've got this hourly imbalance inside of here. If I flick to the 4-hour, we're currently sitting inside of this 4-hour imbalance as well. So we can definitely get a little rejection from there. Okay, now I'm going to look at what yesterday's done. So far this week, we've spiked down, spiked up, pulled back, we continued higher, we've rallied, we've taken out this high here. So Tuesday, right, Tuesday, we took out Monday's high, right, which has given us the high of the week so far. Okay, so again, by Tuesday, there's a 70% chance, around like a 60% chance, yeah, that you've either created the high or the low of the week already. Okay, so you need to kind of bear that in mind, yeah. So I'm going to have the understanding or the analysis that, okay, cool, potentially this is the high of the week, right? Is there anything else that's going to back it, right? I can see on the 4-hour there, we had a closure beneath the low. On the 8-hour, we also had a closure beneath the low. On the daily, we're in a potential pullback phase in the market. We've got a lot of wick, but that's fine, right? So for the time being, what I do see for S&P, if I were to look for any real shorts, right, I'll take it on that hourly imbalance, put my SO above the high of the week, and target the low of the week. Okay, but then you can also target that monthly POI that I showed you there as well. Okay, now if we're looking at this from more of a shorter term perspective, in terms of an intraday perspective, as in what do we have now? Hold on, guys, I need to keep my eye out on gold whilst I'm talking to you guys. Okay, so if I'm looking at this from an intraday perspective, and if I pause, it means I'm looking at gold, so bear with. So if I'm looking at it from an intraday perspective, now that I've got a slightly higher time frame understanding, like, hey, okay, cool, we've got that hourly imbalance sitting up top. Okay, on top of that, we do have that monthly target to the lows. So still, you know, shorts do look very, very likely to play out. Okay, so fair enough. Now, when I look at it from an intraday perspective, what can I see here? I can see the high of London here. You guys know I'm always going to try and find liquidity. I can see the low of London down here, right? Then we got Tokyo low down here as well. Okay, so right now you can see that we pushed up, came back down. We took out, I believe we already took out Tokyo's high. Yeah, we took out Tokyo's high. We then pulled straight back down. Okay, and now we're rallying straight back up. So with this move here, if I were to look for a smaller intraday play, I would look for some longs to the hourly imbalance up here, right? And at the start of the open, which was this candle here, I can see, right, of course, you know, hindsight is a beautiful thing, right? There was a nice rejection here. You could use a 2-minute candle, you can use the 1-minute candle, heck, you can use whatever candle you flipping want, but this is what we can see. We've had a pullback here, and we're on our way to create a new high on the M1. Okay, so right now this is showing me evidence that we may want to reach higher to that hourly imbalance. So that's going to be my target for today. Okay. So if I turn my attention over to these other pairs, the Dow and the Nasdaq, I'm going to have a slightly similar point of view, right? It's also important for you to understand that, look, the S&P might be closer or further away to this hourly imbalance than Dow or Nasdaq. So for example, S&P might not reach up here and still sell off, right? US 30 looks around the same as Nas, so it might not reach up into its hourly imbalance and then sell off, but Nas is a lot closer to the hourly imbalance. So Nas eventually, you know, from what I can see, will probably head up higher here. Okay. Now, next thing to understand when you are trading the indices, yeah, is when it comes to indexes, they tend to flip bias a lot. Okay, so you'll definitely have to watch the indices for a while. Okay, what do I mean by that? You're gonna be in a move. You think you're in profit, similar to this one here, right? You think you're in profit, you're all good, boom, 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 and then come the hour, right? Which is why I like to wait for the first 15 minutes to 30 minutes for that new hourly candle. That hour candle will open, and then it may completely flip back bearish. Okay, so that's why it's important, yeah, for you all to, for my indice traders, to identify liquidity, like what highs and lows has price ran for, and you have to make a decision and say, okay, cool, price has already ran for this low, sorry, this high, and it's flipping bearish. So could this high be the objective for the day, where market is happy to now go for the lows? Okay, you have to play the indices by ear, especially with the conditions that we're in right now. And just like with any other pairs, there's going to be a perfect day to trade indices. I think yesterday was a really good day for indices, right? We had a clear, right, reach for liquidity. If I look at, you know, you can see even US 30, we had a clear reach. Nasdaq, we had a clear reach and then melt. Okay, but right now that is my bias for the S&P 500. We're gonna see if we can get a stretch up higher to that hourly imbalance and then look for a short inside this vicinity there. Okay, I hope that helps someone watching the stream. So far gold is, you know, it's still kind of doing this thing, whatever. Honestly, there's something about ginger, like just a ginger tea, like honestly, it's brilliant. You know, there's one thing that I'll give to the British culture is teas. I don't think teas were British. Were is tea part of British culture? Like, I know it's part of British culture, but when I say culture as in like it originated, I don't think teas originated from here, but I think it was probably part of the whole the colonial era, where, you know, importing from different places around the world probably added to the culture of or added to the English culture. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I don't think this EU setup is gonna do any good. Looks like we'll probably have to look at this low here and then see if we can get a bounce from there. But EU has been very technical, guys. Very technical. I'm gonna close that. Right? EU has been very technical this week, and I think we're due for an expansion. Right? I think we're really due for an expansion on EU. I'll walk through EU with you guys in a second. Let me just keep watching gold. Looks like gold is stuck in limbo. Oh, sorry guys, I haven't looked at the chat box in a while. I see you guys have been texting. Richard says if you have a good lot size and take the profit. Yeah, I had a standard on this one, so it was floating around like 3K when I was talking to you guys. Does it work with 24K market? What's that, Joe? 24K market or MT4? Joe, talk to me. Sorry, I haven't read the chat box, so I'm trying to even catch up to what I was saying. Marx says now they adopted it from colonization of India. Yeah. Gift, you got a question to shoot, bro? In regards to FTMO. My bot. The bot works for MT4 only, bro. Oh, the trade copier. Okay, so the trade copier, you just have to open. It's a in-house broker copier system. Like brokers, they're like football clubs, you know. They don't want you to steal their players, right? So they will never have. Imagine. Ooh, maybe this is a crazy idea that someone. Imagine there's a copier system, right, that interlinks all brokers together onto one massive network, right? Because how copier systems work is you can only copy traders on that broker's platform. You can't like cross copy different platforms. Does it work in the US? Oh, that's a very good question. Damn, I think you US lot, you've just been like blocked off of everything, really. I don't think it does, but let me find out for you, yeah? Let me find out for you, bro. Okay, what's Gift say? Gift says, let's say you pass, for example, a 10K account in the chat box. Guys, if you're new and you're watching the stream right now, welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's say you pass, for example, 10K account and you start trading live with that. If you purchase another 10K, do you need to go through the challenges again for the new account? Or you are... Huh? Wait, what? Bro, you've discombobulated my mind. What did you say? Let's say you pass, for example, 10K account and you start trading live with that. Okay. Pause. If you purchase another 10K, yeah, you need to do the challenges all over again, bro. You need to do phase 1, phase 2 again. Like for prop firms, yeah. If you are confident or you feel like you've reached a level where you can pass prop firms, right? Let's say you've ran a couple of 10Ks, and if you're gonna get 10Ks, yeah, I'll tell you guys what you should do. If you're gonna get 10K accounts, get 3 of them. Get 3 10Ks account. Like I promise you, right? If you guys follow this simple strategy, you will pass prop firms accounts a lot sooner, a lot more consistently than before, right? You need to have your initial amount, okay? So let's just say you've got yeah, I'm literally reading the chat box, it's getting me confused. Let's just say, yeah, bro, you have a set amount. I don't even know how much a 10K is for. How much does a 10K FTMO account go for? Let's just say it goes for $50, yeah? You buy 3 of those. You have your initial investment of... Nah, that's wrong. FTMO is way, way, way expensive. So let's just say a 10K is like $100, yeah? Or £100. So you have $300 initial investment, yeah? So $300 on a 10k, what is that? That's 3%. That's 3% profit you need to make on that 10k. Yeah, so when you reach the funded stage, you only need to make 3% to get your initial return on investment back. Yeah, Give says £75. Let's just make it easier for me. Yeah, let's just say £300. So you've initially invested £300. You have these 3 challenge accounts. Yeah, all you guys need to do is risk 3% per trade, right? 3%. Listen, I know it might be a bit scary, but trust me, your goal is to have one account that reaches the live stage. That's your whole goal. One account that reaches the live stage. So you're going to mark up your charts, and you're going to look for the most highest probable trades, the trades with the best setup, right? As soon as you have that, like for example, yesterday really wasn't the best. I did even say to you guys yesterday it really wasn't the best, but I tried a thing, it didn't work. Cool. But this one here was, you know, continuation model. So this is a type of example of a trade where you go in 3%. You target 1 to 3 R on this trade. This trade's already hit 1 to 3. So with that one trade, you've now gained 9%. You're 1% away from the profit target, right? So day 2, you go from account A, you now trade account B. You look for another really high probability setup. Maybe that account on that day you lose, so that account is down 3%. Okay, then the next day or the next setup, you trade account C. You find another high probable trade. Let's just say that account, it only reaches 1 to 2 R trade, and you think it's not going to go well, so you close the trade early, right? So 1 to 2 R, 3%, that's 6%. So now account A is up 9%, account B is down 3%, account C is up 6%. Do you guys see what I'm saying here? Right? Then you can, you know, risk 1% to get 1% to pass account A, and now your psychology has improved tremendously. Now you know, oh, account A is basically passed. Like all I need is one trade at 1% risk and I've passed phase 1. Or even if that 1% trade loses, don't worry. All I need to risk is another 1% on a 1 to 2 R trade. Do you understand what I'm saying, guys? Like having that initial risk up front is honestly is the best way to trade flipping prop firms, man. Yeah, is the best way to trade prop firms. You've got to risk, you've got to understand, yeah, even if you're doing 100Ks, yeah, you know what, I might do some challenges soon. Yeah, let's say you purchase 100Ks. How much is 100Ks? Like, let's say $500. Yeah, I'll put in 1500. I'll buy 3 accounts. I'll apply the exact same thing. I'll apply the exact same thing, fellas. Yeah, I think this hourly candle for gold should start pushing up at some point. Anyways, back to the main topic. Yeah, so eventually you get 2, let's just say you lose account B and you get 2 accounts that pass the stage 2. So now all you need to do, right, you can do it 2 ways in stage 2 or the verification. You can now risk 2% per trade, okay, or 1.5% if you're really shook, right? But I would recommend, bro, just fuck it. Just risk 2% per trade, right? That 2% trade, if it goes to what, 1 to 3, you only need a 2.5 R trade, right? 2.5 R trade and you've passed. So you waited for the best setup, you tried first account A, it flopped. Account A is in drawdown, cool. Account C is now back at balance. You tried it, boom, it passed. Great. So now, whilst you're waiting for your live account details to come through, you then focus on account A. You try a thing, maybe eventually you blow the account, whatever. That's cool. Now you've got your live account. You only need to make 3%. 3% of that live account, now you've gotten back your $300 that you spent at the start. And that, like, you've got to think of prop firms like, oh, I'm investing this amount to get this amount back, right? Prop firms, when you get an account, I don't recommend you getting 1 account. I recommend you getting 3 accounts at a time, right? Obviously, depending on what your budget is. If you want to start with 10Ks, start with 10Ks. Start with 10Ks, but then go ham. Make sure you're risking 3% per trade. Make sure you're being aggressive, because you've got to understand, you don't want to take too long to do these challenges. Like, it's just draining. Yeah, it's literally just draining, you know. When MFF was around, yeah, A lot of you guys don't know my come up, but when MFF was around, the one that went bust, yeah, I had 600k with MFF, right? That was my initial, you know, bread up in the space, in the prop firm space, you know, which helped fund my personals and whatnot. So since then, really, I haven't taken prop firms that seriously, to be honest with you, right? You know, I tried an account with TFT, then TFT went bust, if you guys remember. And to be honest, I just got sick of it. I just got sick of it. But you know what? Maybe halfway through this month or maybe next month, I might give prop firms a go. But the only problem with prop firms is I've got so many accounts, you know, the copy trader, my own personal, like, oh, he's looking all right, you know. It's going to be too much headache. But yeah, like, honestly, guys, I want you guys to try that. 75 quid, yeah? 75 pound times by 3. Get 3 of those 10Ks gift, or whoever's watching, yeah? I want you all to just try this. Get the smallest size account. Get 3 of them and risk 3% per trade. Yeah? And then thank me later. You know? Buy me dinner. Do you understand? Buy me dinner, get me a beer, you will thank me later. I promise you. That's the easiest way of doing it. But it's important that you must be skillful. You must actually know what the hell you're doing. Because if you don't, then it's pointless. Do you know what I mean? You see, prop firms, yeah, you have to have a system if you want to be successful with it. And most people, they don't know that. So if you are someone that's heavily into prop firms, use that system that I've given you for free. Yeah? You know, most of you that watch the stream are the people that watch the stream religiously anyway, so I'll plug you lot, man. I will plug you guys, no problem. Yeah, man, this hourly candle should be heading higher. Okay, getting a nice push up here now. Oof, guys, it is boiling, man. I'm frying right now. Okay. Extension, 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 extension. Hourly candle. We're getting there. We're getting there. Gold, man, you bloody bastard, huh? That's a very strong candle. Like, this is giving... Oh, wait. We didn't even look at the stock market. Oh, my days. What's it done? Okay, not much, really. We've just pulled back down. US 30. And also, yeah, final tip for indices, yeah? Pardon me. Indices are so smooth during New York PM session. Honest to God, yeah, New York PM session is so smooth. Like, okay, cool, you're not gonna catch, right? You're less likely to catch the move from the top because you're not trading during the AM. But guys, if you really want to catch some moves on indices, like, wait for the PM sessions. You know, look, we had a rally PM session, right? That 5 PM, 6 PM. Look, you got this whole move here, and it's only one direction. We'll go again here, right? We got the AM session, right? The direction of the day has pretty much been decided already. Come PM session, that's 6 PM, 5 PM, 6 PM. Look, get a pullback. So, right? If we look over here as well, AM session, where's PM session? PM session opens here. So, right? Let's look at this one over here. I think this one must have been FOMC or something. No, Trump was speaking, so probably wouldn't have traded that day, but let's move on. Hold on, guys, I got a phone call. Okay. Yeah, like start to look. So we got here London session, we got the AM session. Past AM session, we head to the PM session. Can you just see, like, look, there's the likelihood of there being a manipulation during the PM session is a lot lower than the AM session. AM sessions when you usually get, okay, price looks like it's going to sell off for the day, but then it reverses, right? PM session usually continues the AM session's price action, right? So, for example, if you're someone that looks at gold, right, in the afternoon, you could look at indices in the evening. Okay. Let's look at this one here. So we got AM session. This looks like a doji day, to be honest. It's not really giving much this day. Let's look over here. AM session, PM session. Look, pullback, sell, pullback, sell. What have we done throughout most of the day? Is sell off anyway, so you'll probably get another sell there. Let's look at this AM session. What do? We push up, right? When does PM session open? PM session opens around here. Look, little sell move here. Comes down to 7 PM, then we reverse. You know, try these, try these. This is years of experience here that I'm giving to you guys, right? So try them. Like, I'm giving you, all of you, a shortcut, right? What's taking me so long to learn and study, I'm giving you a shortcut to it by giving you all these tips. So use them, guys, yeah? Anyways, we look good to reach that 400 pipper. I think, yeah. I think yesterday we had a case of just head loss. Oh my goodness. Oh mate, it's actually boiling in here right now. Like, this PC is great and all, but it's a radiator. Honestly, it's an absolute radiator. All right, let's update the Discord, or should we wait till final TP? Got one last position rocking. Probably shouldn't have closed that EU move because it's now back up as well. Oh yeah, let's talk about EU for a second, yeah? EU's been incredibly technical this week. Like, I can't lie, it's been techie. EU has been techie. The dollar has been techie this week, right? So essentially what we're doing is we were working, right, with this minor level structure. So if we're looking at this low, sorry, this high, this low, this high, we didn't get a new low. We got wicks, but we didn't get a new low. Yesterday, what did we do? We ran the lows and then we reversed. And with that reversal, Tokyo session then exploded above this high, and this high. So with that evidence intact, we've seen a pullback into this hourly imbalance, right? I'm looking for buyers on EU now. Like, I'm really looking for buyers on EU now. I think EU is ready to head down lower. Dollar, on the other hand, DXY does look like it can pull back a lot higher before it sells off. But for EU, I'm looking for a buy movement. So I'm going to work inside of this hourly imbalance, see if we can get a move. I'm going to see if we can take out this low, today's London session low, before I look to go long. Yeah. Well, I think, you know, this long can take out, you know, Tokyo sessions, the most recent high. I probably should have held that gold move, eh? But it's all good, man. We came, we got in, got what we're looking for, and now we're getting out. Yeah, 400 pips, boy. 400. Okay, so indices, yeah, Joe's right. Indices hasn't really done much. It's still not doing much anyways. Yeah, what I want to do is live stream the FOMC tonight. What's GJ been doing? Oof, GJ's been clapping. GJ's been clapping. Oof, what a sell-off. Golly. GJ's been clapping. I mean, this is obviously correlated with the yen anyway, so. Alright, Mark. See you later, broski. Thank you for joining the live. Guys, what do you reckon? You want to close the stream there for today? I would have loved if, you know, if gold was gonna move up so well, I would have loved some pullbacks, you know, for some really aggressive re-entries, because boy, I was due to get busy today, man. Due to get busy, but unfortunately we didn't get those pullbacks, so I had to hold the initial entry down here. But it's been a decent day, so we'll just take that. Yeah, guys, I reckon I'll probably just call the stream there, you know. Alright guys, money day, money day, money day. I'm gonna call it there. Looks like we've gone quiet. We need to wait for the next hourly candle. So that 4 p.m., 5 p.m. candle. Check every hour, see how price is doing. I don't have a setup for Bitcoin as of yet, as the main setup has already been gone. So we'll just come back later, okay? Money day, guys. Thank you for joining. If you haven't already joined the Discord, link to Discord's in the description box below. If you haven't liked the stream, like the stream, and I'll update you guys accordingly. Peace.